With some urban legends, you have to wonder how they ever got started, or why they're repeated, because they sound so unbelievable. Witness the following story.
The young woman in this legend spends nearly every waking moment with her cell phone glued to her ear. Wherever she goes and whatever she does, she's forever jabbering on her portable device. One afternoon, she blabbers away while making herself some lunch. When her call ends, she concentrates on her food. She has to throw together a meal before her next call comes in. Because after all, she can't just let a call go unanswered. Then, minutes later, she hears it ring. And of course, she wants to answer. But when she looks for the phone, it's no longer on the counter. That's weird. She can hear it ring, but she can't find it. Yet wherever she goes, she hears its faint sound. It seems to follow her. Then she realizes it is following her. It's coming from inside her dog. He must have swallowed the phone. Worried for her pet's health, she immediately calls her vet.
Okay, go ahead.
There's nothing you can give me or anything, or...
The vet tells her not to worry. It won't harm the animal.
Then let's just go ahead and kind of let nature take its course.
The phone will pass through the dog's system in a day or two. She just needs to keep an eye on him.
All right, thanks.
So for the next 2 days, the woman monitors her pet's habits a little more closely than usual. Eventually, her vigilance is rewarded. The dog deposits her phone, along with his usual deposit, at a city park. The animal doesn't seem to have suffered any ill effects from his little meal. The owner cleans up after her pet and bags the droppings, phone and all. And she's about to dump it when the phone rings, loud and clear. Somehow it survived intact through the doggie's digestive tract. And for once, she decides not to answer. The account is a ringing endorsement for the cell phone maker. But is it true? Or is believing this story just a gut reaction? This account was printed in a British tabloid back in 1997, which doesn't exactly make it true. And on the face of it, the tale seems easy to dismiss. But hold the phone. One report features a hungry horse that swallowed a Timex watch. It passed all the way through the animal's system, and when it emerged, yes, it kept on ticking. But the idea of Fido racking up roaming charges from a swallowed cell phone is a horse of a different color. How credible is this? As it turns out, man's best friend is not always too fussy about his diet.
A lot of times dogs, when they're puppies, they're teething, and they'll get into the habit of, picking up toys and things like that. And sometimes that behavior will stay with them, and then they will start swallowing these things.
And the same can happen to children.
Children will eat hair, cigarette butts, dirt. They will eat paint chips, and they will actually get very sick from that. So it actually happens in kids, too.
And even to adults, who've been known to toss a harrowing variety of items down the hatch. At Philadelphia's Mutter Medical Museum, there's a collection of artifacts actually removed from grown-ups who should have known better. Some of them were removed from the throat with extractors, others through surgery. The point is, if adult humans could swallow this smorgasbord of ill-suited hors d'oeuvres, think of the menacing morsels a dog might ingest.
Clothing, underwear, socks, jewelry, diamond earrings, necklaces. Another category would be paper, bills, newspaper, toilet paper.
So the dog really can eat your homework. With all these unsavory artifacts on the menu, a cell phone doesn't seem so far-fetched. A digestive system can take a lot of abuse and still keep churning. But just how much abuse could a cell phone take and still be able to reach out and touch someone?
At Nokia, we have people, we have equipment that's dedicated to testing the phones and doing things to them before people get to do it to them. We've tested our phones from the beginning, but we've learned a lot as we've continued to make phones to make each generation of products better than the one before. So we have machines that drop phones. We have machines that heat phones and cool them, and tumble them, and really abuse the phone in much the way they will be used in real life, so that any problems that may happen in the lab first. Water, any liquid, is not really a friend of a cell phone, or any electronic for that matter. Sometimes they dry out and they're fine, but it's generally the best policy to keep the phone from water or other liquids as best as possible.
So the chances of a cell phone surviving the acids in a canine's stomach are unlikely. On the other hand,
I have heard a somewhat similar story of an elephant swallowing a phone at a circus, and it actually traveling through the elephant, coming out the other end, being cleaned up, and being used again. But with an elephant, you're talking about a much larger pipe to travel through.
indeed, the possibility of a dog, even a large one, downing any but the tiniest phones doesn't seem likely. And if the story were true, it must have taken place recently, when cell phones became genuinely bite-size. So what's the diagnosis on this gizmo's not-so-fantastic voyage? It isn't true. The British tabloid version, the only press account we found, says the phone was a Christmas gift that was found missing from its package. If that were the case, the phone would not ring, even if it had been swallowed, because it never would have been charged up, it never would have been turned on, and nobody would know to call the number because the service would not yet have been activated. So the scoop on the dog with the dial-up diet is it doesn't ring true. In this story, eating the wrong thing creates a mystery. But in our next legend, eating the wrong thing leads to murder.